Oh, welcome back from the break. You're still watching NTV Sport Nights. A reminder of our guest tonight, Rita Tinka, who has a very huge title, and I'll ask her to tell us more about what she actually does. Women's Board Representative Rita Tinka, welcome to NTV Sport Nights.
Thank you very much, Mabel.
So, your title, what exactly? It sounds heavy, it sounds huge, it sounds like there's money.
Doesn't she look money? Does she look money?
It does, but I know sport in Uganda, it's like, you know, it's
Yes.
a sacrifice.
It is a sacrifice indeed. Just like it sounds, it's just a title. It's it's just a title. It sounds heavy and seems heavy, but it's just nothing. At the end of the day, it comes down to managing women cricket in Uganda. Simple as that.
So that's what you do?
That's what I do. Well, not manage, but prosper the policies and guidelines of the association in line with ICC policies. However, because cricket is a predominantly male sport,
Yes.
so you will find that the board has 8 men with 1 woman.
You.
And me. So yeah, I have experience in dealing with men really, because I have those 8 men to deal with. Sometimes they give you a headache, but you have to push through. And then God gave me 2 boys, so looks like I'm supposed to be in a male.
And on this show, at least you have a woman to deal with.
And I'm so happy to have Mabel on
some
show.
two girls,
Yeah.
I think you can silence the men with the performance of the Victoria Pulse.
Or you can say that again. We have been doing well.
What
Yeah.
has it been like, and what does the performance actually mean?
The performance means a lot to us, because the Victoria series that just ended, we hosted Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and UAE.
Yeah.
Of the 4, UAE and Tanzania were ahead of us coming into this tournament, ahead of us in points, in ranking.
Rankings.
Because somewhere along the way, ICC developed the ranking system. So when you play, we were ranked somewhere along the way. It's a long story. The ICC things are long, so I can spend the whole day explaining them. But when the ranking system came, we got in there. 2018 we were ranked 14. Today, before the tournament, the Victoria Series tournament, we were ranked 21. So we hosted UAE, which was ranked 15.
15th, yes.
And then Tanzania 17, Uganda 21, Rwanda 26, Kenya 23rd. So we were in there. I can confirm that after the tournament, we went back into the top 20. So hosting UAE, beating them. First, we are very happy that they accepted to come to us.
Yeah.
And we're also happy that we gave them a good experience. So I think they noticed that we are competition regardless of our position. And I am hopeful they will probably come back or even invite us. We have a World Cup qualifier in September.
Yeah.
October now. It was September, but a couple of things have happened and it's been pushed. So we need to play as much cricket as we possibly can, and people are higher than us. Tanzania, which eventually unfortunately lost to Rwanda, so that also deals with your ranking, because you're playing our team that's way below you, and unfortunate. So the tournament means a lot to us. We are using it as a building block to the qualifiers in October in South Africa, Potchefstroom, but also as a relationship building. So because the Victoria Series were in their 2nd edition, having hosted in 2019, we couldn't host because of COVID. The champions, Zimbabwe, couldn't come because they had to go to Thailand, so they didn't come to defend their trophy. But hopefully next season they will come, but this time we won't allow them to take the trophy away. So yeah, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot of cricket. I've been very lucky to make my way to Lugogo. Unfortunately, I've only watched the games involving Uganda. I didn't want to go there and be a judge of how poor or strong the other teams were. And you talk about a lot of cricket. As you sit here, your team is not in the country.
I know that.
Yeah, they played a week and then jumped onto a flight.
Yes.
That's like this kind of stuff that professionals do. Why are they then in Namibia? If you could explain to the viewers.
Like we hosted, we had the Victoria Series. So we've been encouraged to, when it got to rankings, we've been encouraged as regions to do series of our own, like East Africa. So this is the Capricorn series, Namibia hosting the people around them, Zimbabwe and all, but Zimbabwe is not going this time. So it's up to you as an association to try and get countries to come and visit. You will notice that last year around this time we were in Namibia. Well, we unfortunately lost 5-0. A long story as well. But you said that's the kind of thing that professionals do. We are professionals.
Yeah.
Please give us credit.
Until recently, you are professionals just recently.
Yes,
we discussed that on
Yeah.
the show just a few weeks ago about handing the ladies professional contracts, something that the men have had.
Yes.
So I was wondering, this is what professionals do, because you jump out of a week-long tournament and then you're on the next flight to Namibia.
Yes.
Then you play another string of games.
Yeah.
I was checking this evening. The team arrived in Namibia at around 7 p.m.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yes.
And then they take a breather, and then they are on the pitch tomorrow.
Yes, our first game is tomorrow against UAE, who we traveled with to Namibia as well.
So no jet lag. No jet lag things of kwekwasa.
No, actually the truth is that there is a lot of jet lag because the trip to Namibia is quite tiring.
Yeah.
Addis Ababa, then what? It's like the Israelis going through their
You go north to go south.
yes, something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, we have prepared the girls mentally, and that's what we've been working on. We have a psychologist on board, we have a physiotherapist, we have all the support that we can have. Now, Deus Muhumuza is an analyst, and I mean, he's national team captain until recently when he had to do his knee surgery and stuff. So we've equipped the girls with all the mental support because we play our first game tomorrow. We traveled last night, well, this morning at 2 a.m. And they will come back on the 2nd of May, and soon after we will go to Rwanda for Kwibuka. So it's and then maybe they'll come back, and a few weeks we'll go to India, then we'll come back. Because we have...
The itinerary is quite rich.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, talking of which, Isma is talking about your trip out. This is all happening at a point when I'm going administrative. At a point when there are lots of, probes, NCS, federations, misappropriation of funds, infighting in federations. But this is all happening. You're hosting the Victoria Series, and now on to the Capricorn, and you're telling me all that itinerary and the team just flew. We've not had any complaints.
Yeah.
You're saying everything is fine-tuned. Do you have enough support? Have you got everything you asked of NCS, because this is a national team, taken care of by the government of Uganda? So have you got everything that you need for this trip, or perhaps there are things you haven't communicated and you could use this show?
Okay. I don't want to be misunderstood.
Okay.
However, everything that is happening, the trips that we are taking, all those trips that we're going to take are being funded by Uganda Cricket Association with the help of the International Cricket Council.
Okay.
However, if we had a little bit more of government support, as much as it should, in terms of facilities, then logistical issues, we would then we'll take it a notch higher and say we're going to Australia, for example, because that would give us I mean, Australia is a first nation, cricket playing nation and stuff. Yeah. So we are getting into only the places that we can afford. And again, there is partnerships in these tournaments. I mean, it's scratch my back, I scratch yours. We say come here for Victoria Pearls. We get partnerships with maybe the hotel. We shall pay for your accommodation. We have to massage each other. You pay my accommodation here. I mean, and Uganda is fairly cheap compared to the others. Yeah, so when we go back, they reciprocate.
And Rita, like while you're coming here, I knew Andrew was going to bring out things that are administrative, because I was hoping to discuss cover drives and back lifts and all, because I saw some great cricket, especially from the Ugandan top order. Proscovia Lako didn't score the big run she wanted, but you could almost see the intent. And every time she got out, was very, very disappointing for many of the fans. And I could almost notice that most of the teams that played here knew exactly what she was going to do. I remember one of those when she walks in, and UA, I think, pushed their players to the boundary.
Yes.
They knew exactly what was coming. I thought I liked the score from Janet Mbabazi.
Yes, she's
the 30 of 31, the one she scored. I like the intent of the small girl. Stephanie Nampina, of course I'm tall, I don't want to call her small. It might sound sexist these days.
I was about to accuse you, but you have qualified the statement.
Very careful, yeah. And then Kevin, and there's so many good things, and of course Irene Alumo with the ball. There were so many positive things about the team, to the extent that I did not see some of the things you see with teams is the kind of burden that must go on the captain, Konsi Aweko.
Yes.
I did not see her having to carry the cross, even if you are just coming out of Easter on her own. She seemed to be helped to carry the cross for the team. And that was quite pleasing about how you people have built a team that has covered several bases. And now for me, the question goes back to how then do you improve the depth in quality? Because there's going to be a time when one of the girls cannot be there, one of the ladies cannot play. Then you have to spread the game more and raise a quota of quality, not just numbers, to ensure that this team reaches the targets. Because I envisage UCA want to get this team to the World Cup. They've only got the under-19 there. They've tried with the men on multiple occasions, and that's not working out yet. Sometimes I wish the men play away from home always, because they win their games away from home, they lose in Lugogo, and that breaks my heart most of the time. So how then do you create this kind of numbers? Because when I first came to cricket club, at Lugogo Cricket level, over, I could say 25 years ago, there were hardly any girls. I could only remember my friend Barbara Mukankusi coming out of Chibuli. Now I see the numbers, but now it's supposed to be a question to you people to create the quality.
We actually have quite a good number of players. Unfortunately, of course, at the end of the day, only 11 can take to the field. You will notice that we had, of course, of the 14, 3 didn't play a single game.
Yeah.
We can say the rains caused all that, but maybe not. But now, for example, the team has some candidates.
Yeah.
And going into the qualifiers, we don't know what will happen. But we have the best thing, and what we actually all have to go back to, which we have actually gone back to, is SDP, Schools Development Program. Yeah. That is where our strength is, and then find a way of incorporating community, some sort of community cricket, because we cannot go away from the fact that we have some of our best players coming from the Naguru Lugogo setup, which I personally call the sports hub, because it hasn't only produced cricketers, it has produced boxers, it has produced footballers and stuff.
Rugby and everything.
Thank you. So it is about schools development programs and then the community somehow. Soroti or Eastern Region is doing a very good job, and you'll notice that now we've gone into hubs, so we have people spread out in the regions. We have Kasese. Kasese has produced some good players, and who have made it on the national team for men, under 19, and now into the setup for national team men. So we are in Gulu, Lira, in the north, and we need their height for all other reasons.
Actually, I wanted to ask that question, and I think you've answered it well about the width, the depth, like how wide are you in the country?
We are going wide.
Some federations sometimes just go for the traditional schools that play that sport.
Yes.
So in this case, if cricket is not, say, in Fort Portal, I know it's there, but I'm just saying, how do you get there? Does your school program also, dig into those areas where you haven't explored?
Yes, now we do. Initially, we first concentrated because at a certain point, maybe 10 years ago, the schools development program had sort of dwindled. Now of course, that was where our strength was. We realized that is where we have to go. Now we've put coaches in hub managers, I would call them, in all the regions, east, west, north, central, and then there's the Nile, which is Jinja and the surrounding areas. So we're going to see, give us maybe 2 years, we're going to see a lot of cricket coming.
Yeah, when you said 10 years ago, that is when everyone from in the national women's cricket team came from Gayaza. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think you're
that's it.
digging at Belinda. I hope she's watching.
But things have since changed. Just wondering, when we hosted Michael Nwagaba here
Yes.
recently.
Her boss.
Your boss.
My
have you
colleague.
found,
colleague.
have you found the land? Because he made an offer saying, you know, if anyone had, I think, 30 acres of land, would you know how far that has gone? Because I'm sure that is something that would help in developing the sport.
Yes, I would know, and I know. And when we are ready to share, we will share. However, I would also, it would also be helpful if at that point we can say, government, we need facilities, because cricket needs specialized facilities,
Yeah.
and so is every other sport. I mean, I was talking to Omar or Umar. He prefers to call himself Omar.
Omar, yeah.
Omar Mayanja, and discussing about super sport and stuff. We all need facilities. So if we are to, we can say we will find the land and pay for it. Then we have to develop it. And we don't need a lot as cricket, really. We need a stands and the oval, and that's it.
And the people to play.
We have the
We
people.
have those.
I mean, you've played, and we won't discuss the off carpets and stuff, but you have played. You have, yeah. So, yeah, I think we'll get the land, and hopefully we can be able to develop it.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Ismail, it's like you have something to say before we conclude.
I first of all want to be very thankful to Rita for accepting to come, because you notice she's wearing Rotary. We had to get out of a Rotary meeting this evening, and I know this is Rotarian, that's a very important part of the week. Yeah, to get her here, and it was quite on late notice, because I noticed this is a very important story with what they are doing with women's cricket in particular. Yeah, for them to have these kind of contracts and this kind, what many people would call privilege, what I call responsibility for Uganda Cricket Association. Because now the ladies can know they can give their time to cricket, and there will be a reward for it, because that has always been the challenge with sports in this country. That's why all of us here have classmates who picked in senior 3. In senior 3 they are playing at the peak of their sport, whether it's football or whatever, or basketball. And then thereafter, I think everyone you meet will say, oh, your guy, you are kabinyo. Yeah, because they picked, and when the reward is not there, once you're out of your teenage years, it's no longer about the fun. People must know that when they get injured, they'll have treatment. Like she said, Deus, who is national vice captain, has had surgery on his knee. And those are the kind of assurances that people need to keep around sport. Yeah. Most of us have done it for men's sport, but not enough of it has been done for ladies' sport in this country. So for cricket to do it, they are being a pace setter.
Okay. Any final words from you, Rita? Well, one, I want to thank the Fourth Estate, as you intimately referred to, for walking this journey with us. Really, first we started on a small back page at newspapers. Now we're on TV, we are everywhere. And I've seen Dakaba every other morning since we started that Victoria series, in the rain, braving to come and watch and looking for parking and stuff. So I think that is testimony that we have now something to offer. We have always had something to offer. It's only that people didn't know. The challenge now is to actually even, publicize ourselves more. We've been to sponsors who are like, oh, you mean women play cricket? And I'm like, okay, so I think I'm not doing much. So I call out to it's my call to the public, one, to give us their children, because sport is one of those things that will probably answer or take care of some of the problems we have. We have drugs on the increase right now, and why would I use sport? Because sport, children at that age have a lot of adrenaline, they have a lot of energy, and they need to expend it. So if you come to Lugoga and run 10 laps before you bat, you're going to be tired. So you get home, you won't have time to take a sniff or whatever. So the parents out there, please bring your children. We have a sport that is quite expensive, as they call it, but it's a sport for everyone. We don't have only the elite, as they say. It's not only in the elite schools, it's in Soroti, it's in Kasese, it's all over the country. And please come and support women. We need sponsors. Our path to the World Cup is the shortest. So if it's the shortest.
I think the sponsors need to understand.
They just need to understand that.
We can actually.
I wish I can open my heart and lay it out there. But please, again, NTV Sport, thank you for having us this evening. The girls are in Namibia. They are watching.
Oh,
I just spoke to them before they went for dinner.
Yeah,
and
they're about an hour or so behind us.
Yes. Okay. And they will be, as they take on UAE tomorrow, they know what to do. They have been prepared mentally. Yeah. We couldn't go with them. Again, you see this shirt. I'm going to be the president in the next 2 months of my Rotary Club.
And I wish I could rig the election for you. I wish I could rig the election.
And then I want to also add that we have different fellowships in Rotary, and one of them that we're going to have is the fellowship, or International Fellowship of Cricket-Loving Rotarians. So that we can be able to further the sport even more than we are doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rita Tinka, Women's Board Representative.